Welcome to another
Another episode
episode of
of
Hang
Hanging and a Jiving.
episode
So,
11.
episode what?
11, the TV commercial. Now you start.
All right, Dre. I'll start. This episode starts off. It's a commercial. So basically, starts in the kitchen. I think. James is paying the bills, and he's like, "Wow, there's a lot of money, and there's a lot of money for he's just organizing his bills and seeing that there's a lot of money for bills and there's a phone bill and you know just kind of fussing over the bills. And so then fast then the next scene is Florida comes, she gets off the elevator with a bag of groceries. She runs into Walona, and she tells her about how a man was scouting her out at the grocery store
Yeah,
for a commercial, and that she could get paid around maybe around $500 for a TV commercial. And so she said I guess they said they need an honest face. Okay, she does. She's got an
yeah.
honest face. And so,
Plain face.
huh?
An honest and plain face.
Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, so then she goes in and she tells the family she was scouted for a commercial. Everybody's excited, and so she's like, yeah. Oh, and then she goes into the fantasy, the dream, not the dream space, but just kind of like imagining, what would happen if she's in the commercial, she'd become rich and stuff like that. And then I guess somewhere in between there, she becomes sort of a little bit anxious and nervous about being in the commercial. And, hey, I've never been to a commercial. She's like, I've never really done this. I've never really, been in front of the camera and things like that. So, yeah, so the family comes together to help her, calm her nerves. And so, and, Thelma gets involved, and JJ gets involved, James gets involved, first Michael. But mostly Thelma is just trying to help her with her enunciation, speech, drama. Thelma says that she had taken a class at the drama and that he taught her, which is interesting because where'd she get the money for that? Maybe it was free. Maybe it's free. They didn't
It's
say.
public theater school.
Yeah. So she just shows Florida, just some techniques about how to enunciate, and it's very over the top, as far as it. But enunciation, you have to be able to enunciate things like that. But in here, it's a little bit over the top. Thelma's a little bit over the top with her acting.
Mhm.
So then, after that, the script and the product is dropped off, and so she decide, she's like, oh, looking over the script, and she's like, hey, it says that I actually, use this product. She's like, I've never really used it before, and she's like, I can't really lie about a product that I don't use, so they start drinking it, and they look at the contents of the Vitabright, which is the product they're using, Vitabright. And it is supposed to be a health tonic, but actually this health tonic has 18% alcohol in it, or so it's a large amount of alcohol.
Yeah.
And while they're drinking it, Michael is indulging himself, overly indulging himself, and gets inebriated, starts singing, and you know, Florida is like, I can't back a product that I can't promote a product that has excessive alcohol and that will, possibly make children drunk. And she decides not to do the commercial. And so anyway, that's pretty much the synopsis. She does a commercial, decide that she doesn't want to do commercial because of conscientious regions and because of the alcoholism, or I mean alcohol content in the product, and that goes back to her Christian views, I guess. Even though there's muscatel in the house, but that's another story. But I, no, but anyway, whatever. Um, so that's pretty much it. And then, at the end of the episode, of course, it ends with a happy ending, as always. So let's get
Yes.
into it. Um, I'll start for basically. This is a very classic episode. It's the one of the funniest. Um, if you're going to talk about good times, what this episode is has to be top 5, top 10 of the of
Mhm.
good times episodes. Everything was funny. Especially my favorite was the Vita Bright guy. That's the funniest. I think Dre, you like when Michael sings Ty Young.
No, river.
That's funny. I think they've got memes for that. I mean, it's the funniest thing. I think the other funny thing is like, when JJ and James were trying
James.
to pretend like they were James, doing that funny commercial. Um, JJ Jimmy Walker was funny. He's like he was doing a synopsis of, I think he was saying that my blood was, my
Yeah,
husband James, he wouldn't bleed when he would shave, and
yeah.
and then he
Bleed on Monday, and no, he would shave on Monday and bleed on Wednesday, or so I don't know,
yeah,
something
and then he gets up and says it's fast, fast, fast,
fast, fast, fast.
and then he just kind of slowly comes out of the frame. Funny. Um, Thelma wasn't that funny in this episode. She's
She
very,
more she was more annoying, and I always thought that she was over the top when she was when she was helping Florida with her enunciation. It does not take all that. It really doesn't. It's like, and then she was getting upset when JJ was, what I'm saying, like making fun, or just not like just doing stupid stuff with the, just how JJ is.
yeah,
And Elma was like, I don't care. My mom ain't gonna talk like that. She ain't gonna talk like that. I'm like, Thelma, can you get a grip? It's not this.
yeah,
Go ahead, mama talking bad English.
yeah. So yeah, and that it's just, and the money that they're getting was they're actually, when she did take the call at home after she talked, she found out that she was getting $5,000. And then that's when they started, talking about, oh wow, we can do this and that. And JJ
Yeah.
said that he wanted to get, I forgot what he
Uh,
said he wanted.
uh, dumbbells.
Yeah, barbell, yeah, dumbbells, barbells. And
Dumbbells.
they're really just thinking outside, and then of course, Florida's like, well, no, that's for the kids' education, which I understand that, put it away. But I'm like, come on, you guys are living in poverty, so maybe
Like
you
a
can.
couple of thou. I mean, it could be. What did they say? It could be like are they saying like up to $5,000? That's it, or 5,000 in residuals? Like
Yeah,
that's where So I'm like, come on now, you put a couple of thousand on the side, just and just. But the thing about it is the whole, I don't want to. At the end, when she decides not to do the commercial because of you know because of the alcohol in there, and you could just negotiate with them and say, look, I can promote it, but can you put on there like keep reach out of children, keep out of reach of children?
that's a good idea.
That's that. And then because like you said, they got a bottle of muscatel. James drinks beer. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Why? Oh, I mean, it's gonna give you cold hard cash. Y'all need money.
yeah, and I mean, and my thing is like, just because Michael got into it doesn't mean that all kids are going to get into
Yeah,
fighter fight. It's that means that you, as a parent, should have been watching your kid who is what 5 feet away.
yeah,
You should have been, but even if he did get into it, don't use that as an excuse to not do it. Just be like, look, Michael, we're sorry we left this out for you, but you're not allowed to drink this. But I'm going to go ahead and do the commercial anyway.
yeah,
Yeah, because I'm like everybody lies about, but she's somebody's honest Florida. You can't lie about anything, not for your family. Which I'm like, come on, Florida. This is a chance to help your family. I mean, come on. It's. I mean, another thing too is like just because there's 18% alcohol, there was like other vitamins in there. I
yeah,
mean, remember cereal? You know how they used to promote cereal? They were like, "Oh, it's got all these vitamins," but they didn't say how much sugar was in there. And there was known as the ideal breakfast for it was always promoted as the ideal breakfast, for starting our day. I remember those commercials. Every cereal commercial was like, "This is what you should. This is what's healthy for you to eat. This is part of the food pyramid." For you to eat. So yeah, that's. I mean, of course, they probably wouldn't know that year because we were all brainwashed that milk and cereal and all those foods were bad for us. So, but I'm saying if they had some vitamins in it, what's the big deal? It helps people feel better in some sense.
yeah.
I mean, I guess. And then if you think about it in present day, we people drink monsters and that's not really that healthy if you think
Monster,
about it.
Red Bull.
Vitamin water is really full of sugar. Um, there's a lot of stuff that's now that's promoted as a Gatorade is promoted as healthy, but it's really sugar. I mean, you should drink Gatorade for electrolytes, yeah, but should you be drinking if you're diabetic? Is there something
Probably,
else that you can drink? So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of contradictory there. So there. So once again, Florida is the hater, and she's the one that's. Come on, it's just like you really are.
Oh,
You're really losing it. You're really taking it for your family, lady.
and they're all like all of them. Even Thelma, like all three of them, Thelma, James, and JJ, they're all trying to convince, like, look, people lie on TV all the time. They lie in the commercials. They're just to promote it, like that's a funny moment too when they're like, what is it?
Red Fox is Red Fox really a junk dealer? Well,
Yeah,
he
a
just plays
junk
a
food.
junk man. He's not really a drunk for a drunk man. He's you know
Yeah. I said, what did JJ say? Like,
oh Joe Namath. Does he really
yeah,
wear pantyhose? No, he used to sell those. He didn't. Of course he wasn't wearing those. I mean,
yeah.
he
Well,
probably.
I mean, yeah. Just in a, they just trying to tell like Florida, lighten up. People lie in commercials. You can't believe everything that's on these TV commercials. I mean, come on. So, um,
Yeah. So moving on. Um, oh, this is the first episode where we hear the word dynamite. When JJ was
that
pretend
was
was it the first or maybe it was second? I think it's the one where I maybe the reason why I'm noticing it is because he's saying it with such exuberance and everybody's clapping, and so this is where
uh,
it's kind of starts. I mean, I think maybe he did say in the prior episodes. No, yeah, he did.
yeah,
So, but this is where it's like camera shot dynamite. So after this, it's gonna be that's what it is, the catchphrase, and then they're gonna do stopping dynamite. That's why I'm saying it's just like the first one because this is where
yeah.
the
Hmm.
dynamite is the sixth character in the series. Dynamite is. Um, but anyway, moving on. um, so let's talk about the funniest part in there. the
The
the Vital
Vita Break.
Bright guy. I mean, I could watch that over and over again and just laugh and
Do you
laugh.
do you drink? Do you drink Vita Break? Not.
And I, well, first of all, wait, let me, huh?
I understood what he said. Good night. I don't know what all I heard was night. I didn't know it was day and night until I read the captions.
Yeah, I think my thing was when I was watching it, the facial expressions because he comes to the door all like with his eyes all half droopy, and she's like, "Excuse me, do you drink Vita Bite?" He's like, he like looks at her like day and night. It's just, and then they comment on how they're like, well, I can't. I want to, James says, I wonder what he was looking like before if he didn't have
Yeah.
Vita Bright, which is at least
Mm-hmm.
they kind of noticed that he was kind of drunk and a little inebriated. But that's the funniest thing. I love that. I love that scene. I always remember it. It's funny. That's the one of the things I remember about Good Times. Vita Bright. Um, not Vita. Oh, right, Vita Bright. So I think another thing is just that JJ was funny. A lot of quips of funny stuff. Oh, then the second funny thing was Michael singing "Tile Yellow" and the way he was dancing. He was on his side, spinning around.
It's the shot of him. It's the shot of him. It's somebody had to point that out to me. I don't know if it was you or somebody else of how he looks when he was looking like it was so like when they were saying, when James in Florida was like, okay, no, we can't promote this commercial or whatever. And and James in Florida having a serious conversation and Michael over there drunk looking like this.
I know
And
he's smiling at him like this, like Ned last week, like let Ned the wino was like, and she's like,
that to me, that's the funny because I never noticed until somebody pointed it out. I
yeah,
never
I know because they were sitting there talking back and forth, and he's just sitting there like this. And then
it is
he's go ahead, and
and
then go ahead.
I can I can do it. Take Vita Right and
And
good
sleep
night.
tight.
Or sleep tight. Yeah, take Vita Right and sleep tight. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Um,
this is one of the classic funny episodes, like hands down. Like if this is not on your top, I would say top five.
yeah,
I mean top five, easily
yeah,
top five classic episode. If it's
yeah,
not part of your top five, then I don't know what you're watching.
yeah. You know what's so interesting about the way Florida is promoting her lines? What our executive producer brother said. It's like, how is she reading the lines like that? He's like, how can you could just read? He's like, the way she's reading the lines is just terrible. He's like, just read this stuff, and
Just
it seems like with I don't know if it's acting or if it's Esther Roll, but I know, but when she performs on the show as a performer in a sense, it always comes out like really just awkward. So now let me take you forward a little bit. The Red Party and the little remember the little way in the like the Christmas episode where they did Janet Jackson and she
oh
was
yeah,
singing that. Remember all the time she sang. Every time she does something where she's sort of performing or doing performative acting, not regularly. I mean, she's a great actress, yes, but when she's trying to act like she's performing, it always looks awkward. And this is another episode. This is another evidence of just trying to perform, and it's like, oh wow, this is you look really, really just. That's what makes it funny because you look awkward. Because it's like when you're trying to act, you just read it like you could read it like monotone, you could read it like that, but I think she's trying to act nervous and just trying to put that out there, but it's just funny because as later episodes when we watch them, you're gonna see her perform, songs and things like
Yeah.
that, and it's gonna be
It's
just like
pretty.
wow,
It's not pretty.
yeah. But other than that, so let me see. One more thing. Um, oh, they were talking about Mark Spitz. Mark Spitz. He was a swimmer. That's who was he was a swimmer, and he was promoting milk commercials and to build strong teeth. And they said, how do we know that Mark Spitz has strong
Oh.
teeth? Um, yeah, I don't remember those commercials. Sorry, I remember the Joe Namath ones.
That.
I remember the Joe Namath because those were like, I think those were on for a very long time. Oh, and they talked about the Tidy Bowl man. Now I kind of remember that
Oh.
because there was like a little boat in the toilet and then they
Yeah.
flush.
Oh, yeah. I hate me.
Um, I remember that commercial. But of course, I remember. Go ahead.
No, you're the executive brother notes said that the messenger played by
Yeah,
Ernest Morrison is another little rascal.
yeah. He was like
Um,
one of the originals. I
so that's the
also,
second little rascal.
yeah, which is I have to say that's pretty cool that they would hire black actors from what it was at. That's got to be 50. Oh wait,
That was
40
in the
years
third.
prior. 40 years prior. Um, so and but then at the same time, how is it that it just shows that these actors probably were out of work for possibly 30 years because there was
Yeah.
no black shows until the 70s or maybe 60s. So what were they doing before prior to that? I don't know. Probably actually, you know what? I looked up Ernest his background, and he didn't do a lot of movies, but he had a pretty successful life. He after this he got a corporate like a really good job as a quality inspector at some kind of aerospace place, and
Oh,
he worked there until he was I think for a while, and he passed away in 1989 at the age of 76. So I was like, he's not like one of those actors like I gotta act all the time, I gotta have a job. He went and got a good job, and was pretty good at it.
what? Yes.
Yeah, so some of these actors they're really good. I mean, when you look at this guy, another thing too, the way he had the little curly wig and the hat on, I mean, that is classic. He was a really good actor,
That's
but
funny.
he that's not who he was. So when we're talking about Ned the Wino, the real man, Raymond Allen,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't just a drunk. He was pretty stand up guy. I don't know I didn't look at his background, but he, of course, he had to raise kids and stuff like that. So these people they're just really good actors, and they're believable. So, but they really live great, healthy lives. So, and I think Raymond Allen, he lived till he was like 91, 90. So
Mm.
he was in the 90s or something like that. So he lived a long time as well. Um, but other than that, really good video. I mean, really a good episode. Anything about the dress? I mean, Walona still has the same wig she had on last time with the little brown wig. It was cute. She looks cute. Um, everybody looks nice. Thelma's cute with her hair up. Of course,
Just a tell in this episode. That's all.
yeah, she was just a little bit extra. Um, Michael did a good job of being, which
That
is
was so.
funny. He was funny. I'd like to say that this is the scene. I'm watching the scene where he's kind of looking at her.
Ah!
He's just sitting there looking, smiling.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, I just saw where he tried to kiss her. Anyway, but also that song that he sang, tie a yellow river. I mean, tie a yellow ribbon
Ribbon.
around the oil tree. That was like the number one song of 1973, sung by Tony Orlando and Don. Um, and Little Spiderweb. Telma Hopkins was the backup singer
Oh
in that trio.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tony Orlando. I don't know too much about him except that he had that number one hit. It was a number one hit for '73, which okay, I whatever. Yeah, I'm not into that. I don't really care about that. I don't really care for that song too much. I mean, I know it. It's just
It, I heard it one time. I'm like,
I think it's
okay.
better when Michael sings it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
anything you like to say? What's the takeaway from this? I think what did we learn from this? Um,
Um, I learned I learned that they just need to really, I mean, Florida just needs to lighten up and
yeah,
just say lighten up, cause she's like ruining opportunity for them to get some extra money,
yeah,
whether it be paying the bills or save for. I don't care what they did when they got the money, but just get the money.
yeah,
I mean, all you gotta do, like I said, just have a discussion with the whoever commercial and say, hey, I'll tell you whatever you want to, as long as you put the little thing that says keep out of reach of children. That's all.
yeah. I have to agree with that. I would say, yeah. I think as far as learning, I definitely, you know, Esther should have taken it. I'm like, if you're so worried about your Christian values, you can always it always says that God forgives you. You could do the commercial and pray for forgiveness, and you'll be fine the next day. I mean, why not? I mean, of course, if she gets residuals for it, just keep
Yeah,
repenting. I don't know. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, there's just, I mean, I whatever. That's just her thinking, and even if she was my friend, I don't think she probably would. Some people just don't understand like that, but I just like just do the thing, just do it, just to get it, just say, hey, just give me a flat fee of you know how much ever my bills are, so or how much I get a house or something. I don't know because
yeah,
everybody's doing so. I mean, I'm like, how is it that you've gotten to this age, Florida, that knowing that there's a lot of people do a lot of corrupt stuff just to get money, and and sometimes you have karma and sometimes you don't. But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. How is it you get to an adult and just live like this? It just that you have this kind of mindset and just can't change. I can look at your three children and be like, oh well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take this money so I can feed my kids. Come on, Florida, stop this. Stop this, writers. And then, but if it was in today's society, everybody would be calling her really just ignorant because I'm like, you've got OnlyFans, you've got, YouTube and all that, and all kinds of ways to make money, and there's no excuse. And they would shame her and she would go down because it's like, you got three kids and a husband, you need to do what you got to do for your man. So, and that's what I think. But other than that, it's a funny episode and it's just really good. Very well written. Also, this kind of reminds me of the Veg of Meat of Vitamin from Lucy, which is a classic episode as well. So if that's where they got that from, I don't mind them respinning this storyline. It's funny for Lucy and it's funny on here. Really good job. Other than that, just because your son takes a drink doesn't mean that he's going to be alcoholic. I mean, my
yeah.
parents used to give me brandy when I was sick. I don't really usually have
I tasted
brandy.
dad's beer once, and I was disgusting.
Yeah, so I mean, and doesn't mean that the kids are going to grow up and be alcoholics. It just means that they have, they experience something. Big deal.
So,
And what else? The Vita Bright guy lives in infamy forever in my mind. He'll be my hero forever. As always, I like to say that me and Dre, are selling t-shirts. You can find the link down here for that. For the t-shirts, I would buy the Vita Bright shirt, and you can. There's a just a little prototype of that
Oh,
T-shirt.
right.
So you can buy that and many other stuff on this link.
And please follow and subscribe.
Follow and subscribe. Watch this episode twice. Watch our episode thrice. And that's a word.
The Golden Girls. We are doing good times.
Okay. Any last words, Andrea?
I really one of my favorite episodes of course, and I don't know. I recommend if anybody has not watched it, watch it. It's funny. It's not once again, this episode was not overly like the other ones. Like the last one was the what was it? The contest.
Yeah.
That was very light. It was funny, it was light. You know, a good message, you know, help your fellow neighbor or, you know, whatever. This episode, I mean, it was funny, and yes, it was like sending a message. Even though our take on it is like Florida should have took the money, but if you do have some, you know, if you do have, you know, the morals like that and everything, if you feel whatever that's good, you know, that you feel on your conscience, if it don't feel right, then you just don't do it.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, we're kind of, I don't know, we're kind of like, it's kind of conflicting, but it's like I can live with just, you know, I can live with you know, just taking the money and just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah.
But I'm just saying, okay, what I'm saying is this episode 2 was lighthearted.
Yeah.
You know, even though, you know, with the message at the end or whatever, it was very funny, very lighthearted, and it wasn't no like extreme, you know, like a Debbie Downer or something.
Yeah.
Like a Debbie Downer moment.
Yeah,
So
it didn't they had at the end they put that rainbow to make it feel like, you know, everything's okay just because they didn't take the money, they're still fine. But
yeah.
but yeah. But I don't know, a great episode. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up
All right. And like and subscribe.
at the bottom. Watch this video, like and subscribe, and check out the
And we will see you next time
next time.
on
Yeah, next time.
next time. Yep.
Next time.
Yep. It'll happen. It's on hanging
And a
jiving. And